Hello everyone, this is Josh from Real Property Management in Sioux Falls, and today we want to show you how to access your owner portal and the functionality and the navigational tools available to you to make your life easier when looking at the data about your rental property. So when you first come on board, you're going to get an email from PropertyWare, and it's going to look something like this. And what you want to do is click on the link here to set up your password. It's going to pop you into a screen, basically put your new password in, confirm the password, hit submit. Once you do that, you want to come back to the portal login link, which will send you to the login page, enter your email address, your password, which will then log you into your home page. So let's go through this. Across the top here we have the toolbar, and we're going to go through each of these tabs. So the first tab we have here is My Account, and this is basically the general information. So here we have a community message, basically that the year-end statements were published and the 1099s were mailed. Here we have alerts, so we can quickly have a link to unpaid bills or any work orders that are in progress. Down here, I'm going to skip this here a minute, but if we go to the Conversations tab, we can enter a new conversation, and this is basically a way to log. It's not really email, but it does send us an email and says, hey, we've got a new comment. And so you can communicate with the property manager, accountant, leasing agent, whatever, through here. And that way all the conversations are logged right in your portal for easy reference. Coming back here, if we look at edit, we can go in and add, if you have a change of address, which is important. That way when we send you snail mail correspondence, it gets to you rather than bouncing around the country. So keep that up to date. Here we have the draw payment method. Either we have a check or we can do an e-check, which is an ACH direct to your bank deposit account. Let's cancel this. And then we have we can edit the payment account. So we'll go into that. Here we can change it either from none, which is going to be a paper check sent to you through the mail, or an e-check. The e-check is really neat because it basically direct deposits into your bank. You don't have to worry about losing the check or forgetting to deposit it, or the money not being there to make your mortgage payment. It just is there and it's easy. It's not about forgetting it. So enter your bank name, routing and account number, and your billing information. Now, something to remember, you can also change your account here. So if maybe you change banks when you move, you can just go in and change this to whichever bank you would like. Please double check your numbers, because if there's a wrong number, it could get sent to the wrong account, or most likely it's going to bounce back as a bad account, and the bank does charge for those bounce backs, which then get passed on to you. So just make sure that if you change these numbers, to double check that they are accurate. Alright, let's go to the Statements tab. We're going to do a separate video on the statement directly. So here we just want to show you how to navigate, and then we'll dive into the statement and show you how to read the statement. So here you have a list of all your statements by month in order. Something I want to point out right away is that we do send a year-end statement, which is really nice to take to your accountant along with the 1099 to get all the deductions that you're entitled to. So that one you would expect the year-end one to populate on the top, but it doesn't. So when we post the year-end statement, it always ends up on the bottom of that year, because it goes by the first number here, January. So instead of being up here somewhere, it ends up underneath all the rest. So if you can't find it, drop down a ways and look for the full year from January through December. Very easily, we can just click download, and it's going to download a PDF of our current statement. And here it is, and we'll dive into that later. Beside this, we have View Bills. View Bills is going to take us to the Bill tab, and it basically looks at all the bills associated with that statement. So very quickly, it sets the filters up, so we're just looking at the bills with that statement when we're going through the statement. Let's go back to the Statement tab. On the right here, we have a balance summary, and we're going to look at all these numbers in the statement, but this has to do with the current month. Looking at the income, or the previous balance, the income, which is most likely rent income, expenses. Equity is going to be the money that was sent to the owner as a draw. Ending balance, the money that's available in the portfolio. The management fee for the month. The portfolio minimum, this is the money that should be held in the account for incidental expenses. And then available balance. And we'll dive into this more with the statement video. The Reports tab, we don't have anything here, and this is generally going to be used for large portfolios of multiple properties. We can pull rent roll reports, balance sheets, income statements, and just customize that however you want to see that data. The Bills tab, again, is how we look at the bills, and this is fully customizable. Like, do you want to look at a bill date or do you want to look at the payment date? Notice how we have an unpaid bill here. So if we're looking at the bill date now, if we look at the payment date, what's going to happen is that unpaid bill is going to disappear. We're only going to see the paid items. We can look at a custom date range, and this is fully customizable if we want to look at the bills from last month, last year, or last 6 months, what have you. We can enter that here. And then we can also search by paid or unpaid bills. On the right hand side, we have the option to view the detail. So let's go ahead and let's jump into this one and view the detail. So here gives us the line items, which account it was coded to, and then also the comments and the description. So lock change service fee and then the amount for each line item. And master key for lock, $60, along with the sales tax, which is 6% of the total, $660, and give us the total. Now we can come on here. So this gives us, and also we have, if there's a payment made, it'll show up here, and then if there's documents, so any sort of pictures or documents that we need to attach to this bill, will be down here. We can also view invoice, the orange button in the middle, and this is going to give us a printable PDF. So if you're the kind of person that likes to have the paper copy, here it is, along with all the detail. Or if your accountant wants paper versions, that's all here. In terms of description, anytime we do work, we try to put as much information in the description as we can. So if we changed out, say, a blower motor on a furnace, we'll put in, change out the blower motor, what the serial number was, along with, there's a 2-year warranty or what have you. So as much information as we can put in, that way it's all recorded for the future. And it's all conveniently located in one place, and we can find those very easily if we need them in the future. Then we'll go to the Maintenance tab. This is where all the work orders are going to be cataloged. Work orders can be submitted either by the owner, by the tenant. We can do it internally. If the tenant does it, either by themselves, they have their own portal, or calling the 800 number. As soon as that's entered, you get an email, our maintenance department gets an email, and we begin to immediately follow up on that work order. So on the right hand side here, we can choose, let's choose to view the detail. So we have a short description, change out locks and, well, what's the rest of it? View the detail, opens it up and gives you much more fuller description. So we have change out locks and complete the move-in inspection video. We have the estimated amount, the invoiced amount. Of course, when the work order first comes in, there won't be an invoiced amount. There probably won't even be an estimated amount because we haven't got that far yet. So the information in this work order will update as we gain more information about the problem at hand. A couple of other items we have, here's the bill with the amount. Of course, we can go to the Bills tab and see that, again, in work order documents. The final thing I want to point out is the approval process. We do have this available for you that if you like, you can actually approve the work orders. So if you open the detail, you can make comments and then select yes and say, sounds great. Or if you have some special instructions, you can put that in here, and that, of course, will then upload and notify the maintenance team. Well, in this particular one, I actually saved it, ended up rejecting the work order because we had selected no. So it rejected the work order. It's always nice if you're going to reject a work order, you put some comments in, because this is a real situation. Don't just say no and leave us hanging, because we will be calling you and saying, okay, why not? What are we going to do instead? We cannot just ignore work orders and maintenance requests by the tenant. In the Documents tab, we have all the documents related to your property. So in the Documents section is going to be all the management agreement that you signed, your W-9, all the things that pertain to your portfolio. Down here in the lease documents, we'll have the lease, the pet addendum, the disclosures signed with the tenants. Inspection documents, when we do inspections, those will be located here. And then we have the RPM Owner's Manual. You should have received one of these when you signed up, but if you lose it or whatever, it's always available here. If you have any questions on anything about your property, this is a great resource. And I just want to open it up here 1 second. Everything is on the first page here. You have your entire table of contents. So for example, talking about maintenance, we want to say, okay, repair and maintenance of my property. I want to go check out page 35. So 35. Okay, so let's basically go through and find out the information I want to know. So if it's after hours or a weekend, you can always go in here and find the answers that you need. And you're always free to call us as well. Okay, so that's the document tab. And that's pretty much it. That is the portal in a nutshell. This is an extremely efficient way to communicate with us. Obviously, we cannot go through every owner statement every month with them, so it's much preferred that you come here first, look at your statement, understand what's happened in the current month, and then if you have questions, give us a call. It's much easier for us to help you that way. Because honestly, if you have a question on something, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm actually going to go into your portal, I'm going to pull up your statement, and I'm going to look at the statement with you to answer your question. There's so much detail in the property management business that we rely very heavily on this tool. All right, so the next up, we will be doing we'll dive into the statement and pull that apart and help you understand how the income statement is set up.